And welcome back once again, ladies and gentlemen, to the ESL ESEA Pro League. We're about to jump into our final match for this evening, which is going to be between Winterfox and Team Coast. I believe we do have it jumping back in, where we've had Flowsick filling in for the Winterfox roster for the past few days, and also a little bit of drama between the Team Coast roster over the previous weeks as well. So as we're getting ready to jump into this match, Moses, why don't you take us through your thoughts?
Well, drama is a nice way of putting it. I think they pretty much publicly exploded. So that's been kind of a disaster to watch play out all over social media and everything. But so they're coming into this with after dropping pretty much the core of their team. On the other hand, I got to say that I think Winterfox, even if Pitt's playing, if he's going to be back, I've got to say that I think they still have the upper hand in this matchup. We've been watching Winterfox these past few nights have great games, even with the high pings. XP3's been playing really well despite having 150. And then the big one is Anger and Lex have just been crushing people lately. Lex especially has stepped up more than we've ever seen him do in the past, and that's adding a lot of fragging power onto this team. So that's been cool to watch.
We saw specifically, just to talk about an example of Lex's play on that game versus, I think it was, if I remember correctly, it was Complexity, where they played that on Mirage like 2 or 3 days ago, and he just went absolutely insane on the CT side A site there. They couldn't get past him at all there, and he was constantly getting 2, 3, and even 4Ks for his team, so he's been an absolute monster in the previous days. This match, though, he's going to be jumping over here onto the match on Train, which I think we've been seeing some sort of on and off performance from Winterfox here. What are your thoughts on them on this map?
Well, everyone tends to be on and off on this map, especially, some of these teams like Winterfox who have a lot of roster changes. Same with Coast, with the roster upheaval they've had. It's just one of those maps that takes a good amount of coordination. You can't just step into this map and be good on it, unless you're Virtus Pro. But to be fair, those players have been good on every single version of Train dating back for like 10 years. So that doesn't really apply here. But yeah, I think Winterfox, though, they're going to be fine on this, and I think they're going to be playing loose, and I think they have a skill advantage over these players on Team Coast. XP3 with the op, like I said, doing some work. If Lex and Anger show up to play like they have been, especially Lex, who plays that inner bomb site, they should be just fine.
And looking at some of the plays coming out here from Team Coast, and as we look at their map performance here, unfortunately, it doesn't look that strong. Currently in their matches here in the previous 2 months, they've gone 0-3 on Train, losing to Cull twice, Complexity and Enemy once here. That was the most recent game, and they went 4-16. And again, it just looks not very good across the board. Obviously, a lot of these stats coming from the previous roster, so it may not carry over as strongly, but the T-sided win rate looking at about 32%, and the CT-side win rate, ironically enough for it being a CT-sided map, looking even worse at 29%. And even the roster has been a little bit in contention here for this Team Coast roster, as we haven't been 100% sure on who is exactly going to be filling in for them just tonight, so we'll wait until the match gets live for that one. But on that note, I think I might have misspoke a little bit there. It said Pitt was going to be joining, and I thought it was going to be Flowsick, but yeah, he jumps back into the game now, so that means Devil Walk actually is not going to be playing on the roster tonight, but they will be keeping Flowsick in once again for tonight's match.
Yeah, the Swedes just changing places right now. Just having a good time, taking nights off, sending the other one in to do battle.
So we'll go into the knife round here, and just to clarify in case anybody was curious on what the full roster for tonight was going to be for Coast, it's Drossel, Invert, FGB. Is this actually his name? Lems? Is that actually his name?
I believe, as far as I know, yeah. I don't see why it wouldn't be.
It's either Dumore, or it could be Legija as well, because supposedly he was going to be jumping onto this roster.
Well, I believe he might have been in talks. That might be something with all that upheaval of the organization. We don't know what's going on with the decisions they're making at the moment, how that's all playing out. I know Skrunk is, I believe he's a German player, I want to say. And I know he joined as a coach a while ago at the beginning of the season, and he's playing now. So maybe trying to have a little bit of good faith gameplay where they bring in a European as well, because he's got 130 ping, much like Pitt and XP3 do.
Lems should be Lems, by the way, just in case there's any confusion on that. I thought he was somebody else, but I just checked his Steam past names, and it doesn't look like he's had anything else, so I guess that's just him. So I have no clue who he is, but we'll see how he performs in this match. And here they go. Winterfox going to try a direct take here, coming out of the Ivy push, but not going so well. Gets a 2-for-2 trade, moving into 3 players for Team Coast, and now we've got Strunk moving in, going to try to shut down Pitt before he can escape with the bomb. He's going to succeed in doing it, and now this outside take just not going anywhere, unfortunately. Flowsick and XP3 are going to be the final 2 left alive. XP3 is picking up a kill into Invert now, So it does reopen the potentiality here a little bit, and a great nade connects on FGB too. That's going to shut him down as he was only in half HP to begin with, and now it's just Strunk. He's got full HP, however, working against XP3 and Flowsick, but the headshot comes out on Flowsick, and now it's all going to be the clutch from XP3. Gets some nice shots to bring him down to 73, and as he's going to fall back a little bit, unfortunately still with no bomb control, he's just got to straight out deathmatch this to win it with 45 seconds left.
Yeah, a little over-aggressive out of Flowsick there, not realizing maybe that his teammate was one hit till he dies. And now XP3's in a really tough spot. And look at the movement by Strunk. Smart play. He gets 3 kills on the round. Crucially, he's the player for Team Coast who was in the back alleys, just holding the bomb. He gets it down. They have a nice crossfire set up for when that alley hit comes in, and he's the one who just ends up on top of everything and just watches that and waits and gets 2 more kills on top of it. So really well done at the pistol round for him. And now we see FGB. We see Drossel picking up the P90s. Invert, I'm assuming, is the AWPer because he's keeping this 5-7. That's all he wants. He wants to have as much money as possible moving forward.
And now for the rest of Winterfox 2, making a blind push to make their way through Whitehall's, getting into back B. It's going to be into that site. They get that one decoy over there outside of Ivy, but it's going to be a direct take there. FGB not ready for that one at all, and they actually get out pretty cleanly here and taking a little bit of damage, but now FGB is going to come into play with that P90, picking up 1-2 kills, just running forward here. Flowsick's going to move in. He gets the trade, but so far here, it's definitely been in the favor of Coast. They hold strong control, but a plant does manage to squeak its way through to the players getting themselves up to ramp pretty easily. Lex still holds for the time being, but Invert will get the trade there. And now it's just Pitt from up on top. He's done some work with the Eagle before, looking for the 1 kill, can't find it, and not even ready for Invert to run up that ladder. So Team Coast do manage to close it out without losing any more players, and that's going to be the second round onto the board for them.
Pitt's got to be wondering how low Strunk is. Really unfortunate he couldn't grab that 3rd kill. At least they get the plant, so that buy doesn't all completely go to waste. They do get that extra $800. That's going to help them, swallow the loss of all that armor and upgraded pistols in the second round. So they actually have pretty good money going forward into the next round, which will be the first gun run. So they're going to upgrade to some Deagles again. That's what the $800 has just been spent on. His Deagle on 4 members so far. And I would imagine that Pitt's going to do it as well, because we know his Deagle, what he's been able to do with it in the past. And 5 Deagles now out for Winterfox.
Invert as well goes for the early upgrade onto the op, so he's going to get to duel against some of these players very, very early on, and we'll see just how that pans out as Winterfox line themselves up for a default A-take here, coming in from both T-Con, Drop, along with back over there towards Ivy as well, with Flowsick pushing in towards that. But Invert is going to find the first opening shot over inside of T-Con, takes down XP3, and very pushed forward here too. Strunk has got a really good position. He's going to have to watch out for those one-shots coming out there from the players on Winterfox, but still right up in their faces. They're probably not going to be expecting that, and that combined with the fact he's got a rifle, so he'll be coming to a pretty good play. There we go, already taking down Lex. They're trying to work their way out from the ladder room, but it's just not going very well. And although we see Anger, he escapes with that kill, and a Strunk at the very least also shuts out the only other player still alive from Winterfox, and this should be easily controllable at this point for Coast.
Anger with the 1 dig, though, heading over towards the inner bomb site. Grabs FGB, trying to push up and be aggressive, and that's a small mistake, because that's left the plant open. Now Anger can get this down. So just that one small push gets a little bit antsy, and he gives up the plant for his team. But Anger, maybe a little bit upset he can only find a P90. It's all he's got. He throws the Molotov, gets another kill, but that's all he can get. So it's going to be a defuse, but another plant and 3 kills. That's another good round, and they've also spotted that Invert has the AWP, so they have plenty of info going forward into this next round.
And also considering the very minimal investment they had into that round too, with it for the most part just being the Deagle upgrades, I don't think anybody bought armor, and I'm fairly certain they had, maybe like 1 to 2 nades at most they're coming into that round too, so they don't really buy up all that much. So going into this one, they're not going to be suffering from any utility problems. Everybody getting exactly what they need, maybe a little bit low on mollies, but I mean, they've still got 2 in their arsenal, and that should be enough to make the take here if they're all going to push towards one angle. Team Coast, though, going to go for the double op setup now. Skunk picks up an additional op along with Invert here, so we'll see how that one pans out. They'll put it, one of them over here just inside of Z, and as for Invert, he's going to push into the back halls. This could be troublesome. Skunk picks up an opening shot, but right here in a second, Invert's going to be wide out in the open. They don't spot him, though, and he's going to try to take a shot. He finds it on XP3, but now he's going to get pressured, and he's kind of stuck here in the back halls as Winterfox just walk right out and get the plant.
Smart play, though, just staying alive. That forces Pitt to go chasing after him, but FGB on the rotate over bails him out, and now 1 more for Invert. He's going to smoke off the bomb. He's getting flanked out from above. That's Anger, but he's in a 1-on-4. The bomb is planted, but he doesn't have anything to slow this defuse down. He's got to just peek into 4 members just spotting for him, and there's the op from Strunk. Strunk gets a 2 kill on this run, as does Invert, and they'll be able to run up that ladder and salvage the op if they want to keep it, which they will. Lems picks that up for his teammate Invert, and a pretty clean round for Coast.
Yeah, that extra aggression actually works out really well for Invert there as he pushes in. It essentially boxes in the players from Winterfox, doesn't give them any safe spot to move towards. Essentially, they would have been exposed to Invert there, where they would have been covered from the players coming in from Z and back through CT spawn. So a pretty good hold from those guys. And now Winterfox, they're still going to go up for another buy. as they go for the 5 AKs. No op, unfortunately, in the mix here, as we didn't see it in the last round either, and the money's far too low at this point. But Team Coast now, with another clean round up in their favor, they're going to get another opportunity here to try and stack up the cash a bit more as well.
This time it looks like they want to get aggressive out towards Ivy. Drossel's going to smoke it off himself and push right through it. And Flosik spots that. He's going to take this battle, not able to end it quite yet, and he's going to get away. Skrunk, meanwhile, picks up Pit, so another good advantage for Team Coast. And there's Drossel still taking that fight. He grabs a nice headshot onto Flosik and a second one onto XP3. Not a headshot, but a second kill. And, I mean, Winterfox, they're already out of this round.
And a dink comes over here onto Lex, and Invert with a double collat shot on the Anger and Lex to finish it up there. That's going to be Team Coach just sweeping through Winterfox on that round. Are they now going to lead 5-0 with a very, very aggressive CT side here from Team Coast after they get the guns into their hands? They just play right into the faces of Winterfox. They're not expecting this at all. Back over there at the approach from Ivy, 2 kills are scored. Again, we see that aggressive op push to back B, and another kill is scored there too. So as you said, immediately as that happens, Winterfox just have nowhere to go right from the start.
Yeah, I don't like this buy out of Winterfox either. This early on in the half, with 3 pistols, yeah, you have some smokes to utilize, but against a double op setup, you need some ranged weapons to take them out. You need more utility than this to keep them occupied, and these ops might just go on a tail again. This is going to be a delayed outer hit. There's the first kill. Skrunk grabs that with a sniper rifle. Still no progress made by Winterfox. They haven't moved. These smokes are going to expire soon, and then they're just going to be in the wide open. This is just going to be shooting, you know, fish in a barrel. But Pit, he grabs Invert, so that's a 1 op down. There's a good start. Lem's still at the bomb train. Skrunk as well. Lems does spot one coming, but so much firepower, and XP3 actually gets one as well, so Coast is dropping this left and right. Finally, Skrunk falls. FGB now on the rotate grabs 1 and a second. Now he brings it into a 1-on-1. But Winterfox is going to win it because Flosik finds FGB, and that defense just collapsed.
Winterfox's Flosik also able to recover the op pick up there too, so that goes back into the hands of their primary opper, which I assume, considering they don't have Devil Walk right now, is just going to be XP3, so they'll be able to use that. And now we'll see how they build upon this one. Once again, Team Coast still in a pretty good position. They'll buy out this time. This will be the only buy they can get, but it's enough to squeak through with the double op once again. And XP3 is going to get that op into his own hands at this point. So another clash of heads here. Team Coast trying to maintain that advantage, which so far has been very strong. But with a confident push from Winterfox like that, that could immediately shake things up here on the side of Team Coast. And now they're going to have to try to evolve against this.
I'm still dumbfounded how Coast lost that last round. They had every single advantage they could have wanted in that round.
So for the rest of Coast here now as well, Invert's going to push his way inside of Z to get himself onto the outside yard to try to get himself in a good position. Winterfox still taking it nice and slow because they've already gotten used to some of that aggression that was coming out from Coast. But this time it's going to hold back considering the round was stolen by the players on Winterfox this time. XP3 looking for the push to come out through T-Con, and Lems has sort of obliged this a little bit. He's pushed inside. He's going to wait to see if he can catch this. But now Winterfox, with the timer getting a little bit lower here, they haven't moved the bomb into position just yet, but some of their players are going to start to move back. They make that noise into the inside yard, and now we're going to put 2 players down into the drop and get themselves into a ladder room here. Team Coast very spread out. They moved an additional player into the inside yard here too. Invert's coming to assist with the op because push does come in from there. But now they're going to try to take it there. It's another default take it set. This didn't really go so well last time. And Drossel as well is waiting for this one, but nonetheless, Lex finds the opening pop. He's going to shut down Lems from within inside T-Con. Invert relocates over here to himself into heaven. And now the rest of the players on the way out. Drossel is going to take the duel back over here inside of Ivy. He wins that one over against Flosik. And now the rest of the team works their way out, but Skrunk doesn't even realize they pushed in, but somehow he doesn't die. He's 5-13 HP, drops and gets the no-scope on a Pit to shut him down, and now Drossel's waiting for more of a setup here. The plant does end up coming out, but they're taking down all the aggressors. It's just XP3 in the clutch. He misses his shot, and Drossel shuts it down, and Team Coast. That just should not have happened there, to be honest. Skrunk should be a dead man right now, and they should not have won that round.
Yeah, Skrunk's an absolute... I'm not lagging, am I?
Ah, no, you're good now, I think.
Yeah, Skrunk was an animal. Him surviving that long at Bomb Train was huge. And Winterfox, I mean, that round, the round before that with the pistols, they find all the openings. This time they can't do it. And so these ops still survive, and just on the brink of being economically broke, Team Coast comes back huge. And this is just a couple rounds where it just seems like everyone who has the advantage, their attack or their defense just collapses despite everything.
So now Team Coast again just take back the advantage here. Winterfox back down to pretty much shambles at this point. 1 player with armor, the rest just on Tech 9s and P250s. Alex the only player with any nades at all, and they're going to get used nice and early here. All 3 of them just pop right out. They get the smoke down, but a molly comes down too, and FGB combos that with the nade, and he's already picked up 3 kills this round. Pit at the very least will trade him, but as we can see, Anger, actually I'm amazed that molly doesn't spread over to him, but for some reason it doesn't hit him, and now he's going to stick here, but nonetheless, Stroke and Invert just push right back in there, pick up the final 2 kills, and that's an easy round being picked up there by Coast.
Yeah, but a good plant from Winterfox. That's all they really want. That's going to be a victory into the round. I was a little bit worried because FGB wasn't spotting that upper ramp at all, but he gets those 2 Molotov kills on lower ramp, and that makes sure everything's okay. But Skrunk and Invert with these ops are just doing damage, and Winterfox is going to have to find a way to neutralize them. Skrunk just comes in his first match that I've seen him play. I know he played one earlier. I didn't get to cast it, but his first match I've seen him, he's with 130 ping, and he's showing Pit and XP3 how to do it right off the bat.
And with Team Coast now leading by a strong margin here, Winterfox will get another attempt to go for their buy-up. All 5 AKs, again, haven't really seen too much of an op presence from them, unfortunately, here, and this is limiting their ability with the double op set up on Team Coast being so potent here, and so aggressive once again, specifically from Invert, who's back in the halls there. Slow creep from the members of Winterfox. He needs to spy on one of them here, but he's going to get a light up there, and manages to take Pit down to just 11 HP. Without picking up the kill, he's going to end up falling back or getting himself into a safe spot, and Winterfox won't move forward quickly enough to oblige him in order to take him down. So he'll survive, he gets himself back onto the tanker, and the rest of Winterfox still trying to contemplate where they want to make this push towards, which, again, still looking like the inside yard based on their current positions.
Yeah, both ops in here as well. So they have an opportunity. If they can smoke things out, this is going to be very difficult for the ops to have any kind of success on the hit. They'll have to get lucky through the smoke, but a little bit less mobility, a little bit less options in terms of getting aggressive around these smokes. And there it is, 1 down the lower ramp, nothing at the upper ramp quite yet, and no committal out of Winterfox, so that's going to allow FGB to rotate over, and this is going to come in a little bit delayed. Actually, no, it's going to be a fake out to that outside bomb site. Either way, Invert finds one in, or Anger trying to push down, get a little clever, but they're putting a lot of pressure on the outside train yard, and Lems is there to find a kill.
Lems will have to pick up a second and a second, potentially, if XP3 pushes into him. Pit moves in and gets the plant, and XP3 does find that kill into Lems. Now the rest of Coast is working their way back out, but they can't pick anything up initially there. It also barely escapes a kill on a Pit, and Flowsick coming in there. He's going to find an additional one, but FGB, quick on the trade, takes down XP3, and now it's Flowsick stuck inside, and there's going to be Strunk, just walks right up, ops him in the face. And there we have it, Coast again with a shutdown, the very, very rapid retake that Winterfox just can't seem to handle. And another round will go in their favor, leading 8-1, just 9 rounds in at this point.
Another plant, but this is a good pause out of Winterfox. They've gotten the bomb down, they just can't figure out a way to get all the kills they need to close the rounds out. Skrunk's been a beast with the op, Invert as well has found some opening picks, but they can't find these entry kills, and Coast in certain situations is playing it pretty smart. They're letting the plants go down, they know they have superior numbers, so they're just going to win at the retake. And that's what they're playing for, so not overcommitting too early on this defense is working out really, really well so far.
And to be honest,
is... Yeah.
I was gonna say, to be honest, like, we weren't seeing a whole lot of adversity from Winterfox in terms of what they're using for strategies. They're kind of just trying to do these default setups and go in all at once here. It's not like they're doing any sort of try to trick plays or anything like that. That's the first fake they've done, and even that doesn't really work out too well for them.
Yeah, part of it is some of these force buys they had coming up early on in the half, and this one's okay. They have some smokes to work with, but they don't have all the utilities to do and execute. And on top of that, they've got to find a way to get out TCON and just get aggressive and find some success early on, because they're going against ops. They're against 4 Molotovs and 5 smokes.
All right, so Moses is going to be a little bit robot-y there once again. So I'm going to probably just take over the cast for this round. I hope that gives them time to solidify. For Team Coast, though, still looking good. Money not entirely secured as of yet, but specifically for Skrunk and Invert, it's going to be in a good spot. But obviously, Winterfox going for the full buyout. They've taken this pause, completely resetted themselves, and now they're going to go right for it this time. Ultra aggression, trying to work it into the face of Coast, but already Skrunk able to pull off a shot just outside of his own smoke here, too. So that's actually going to work great for him. Not catching this push that comes out from Pit, but Pit makes a big mistake. He thinks he's killed Skrunk, but it doesn't happen, and then Drawsel just comes up from behind, works his way through the White Halls, or up from Ivy, and just wraps up behind these players to finish him off. What a disastrous push from Winterfox.
Am I a robot?
Sort of. You're easy enough to hear. You should be good.
I just want to say that Skrunk's a beast right now. That's all I have to add in right at this moment, is that Skrunk is an absolute animal. He's 17-2. This is an incredible performance out of him, and Winterfox has no response to it.
Alright, well, the robot is taking back over, so I'll take over again now for Winterfox, as they'll be broken. Not expecting too much to come out of them this round. Team Coast, of course, still maintaining with a whole lot of buys, and that money just grows stronger and stronger with rounds like that. Skrunk opens it up for his team, once again by shutting down Lex. And now the rest of the team, they try to work their way into this outside yard. Lems clotheslining Flowsick. Drawsel picking up another one on the Angers. He tries to pull back into the cubby to hide safely. And FGB is pushing into their faces. He shuts it down. Pit gets a nice shot on FGB at the very least. But Invert is there to find the trade and once again come out on top for Team Coast.
I'm scared to talk.
I'll just let you talk and we'll see how it goes. If you start being a robot, I'll just talk over you.
Well, now Pitt has the AWP, so we're going to see a little bit of duel. Finally, because we haven't really seen XP with it. They haven't had the economy to purchase up that sniper rifle, so Pitt's going to have to do something with it. Because these ops on the other side, this side, they're being very aggressive towards the inner bomb site. All 5 members this way, Pitt watching the upper ramp for any kind of a push to the corner. But FGB, he's at that lower ramp, and he doesn't spot anything moving that way quite yet. Now they rotated off, so there's a small window of opportunity where there's going to be a 5-on-1 basically, although Scrunk, he just knows, man, he's back. He's going to smoke off this lower ramp, it looks like, and no, he's actually going to flash himself and get aggressive with it, so he's feeling very, very confident.
This could go right badly, though, as he's actually going to miss the opening shot there. Hits the door hinge up on the top there, and now for the rest of the team, they will get the opportunity to work their way out, and Strunk's kind of out in the open right now. He needs to fall back. Here they come out from upper, though. Thankfully, Strunk hiding that left wall. He's not going to get exposed just yet. Catches one on the drop down, but he does end up peeking him, and he unscopes at probably the worst possible time, too, but nonetheless, inverted FGB. They're working that double team effort there. They shut down 2 kills. How did Strunk miss that shot? Somehow misses it, and Anger's actually going to push through and get the kill onto him. Nonetheless, Lem's coming back out. He's going to find one of the final 2 kills, and for Anger, though, he does escape with that 1 kill over there onto Strunk. Now he's trapped, looking for more, but he can't find it. And Lems picks up the final one. Team Coast are shutting down Winterfox, and what could be yet another upset here at the ESL ESEA Pro League.
I don't even know if you can really call it an upset. I thought they'd come into this looking good based off what we've seen in the past couple of matches out of them, but they've shown up. They're just a little bit flat at the moment, or a lot flat. Not even able to get kills. They swarmed that inner bomb site, but they only get 1 kill in that round, or 2 kills in that round. But it's incredible because the rotations come in, they haven't found any progress, and they just mow them down before the bomb can even get planted. This is a really nice defense from Coast. These rotations are coming in so quickly.
Invert finds the opening shot. Lex will pick up a trade this time, though, and Flowsick as he moves in. Not even expecting to see FGB here, but he actually gets down ladder to save his life. Thankfully, he's going to be pooping his pants there, but Lex picks up another kill, but runs right into Lems' face, too. The aggression from this CT side allows him to pick up so many trades, but nonetheless, Winterfox, they are going to be able to get control of the outside yard. Not planning it just yet, because they don't really know what's happening, and now Lems is trying to sneak his way back in here to pick up some more kills, almost lining up that headshot to Pitt, but he's going to be able to correct and return the favor back over onto Lems now. And Strunk along with FGB trying to work their way out from ladder room, but it seems Winterfox finally having good control of the situation. They should be able to shut this down. There's Flowsick with 1 of the kills. And now Strunk is going to find 1, but Flowsick should be able to push in, and no, he gets the no-scope on Upsick, and now it's a 1-versus-1 between Oppers, but Pitt's there. He's ready to stop it. Takes down Strunk and wins it out for Winterfox.
Finally, they end Strunk's terror. He'd been killed previously, but he almost pulls that 1 and 3 out, and the damage is done. And so, I mean, there's a very light economy now on Winterfox because they just brought that down into a 1-on-1. So, very well done from Strunk. He's going to pick the op back up, and this entire half, Coast has had no issues with a double op setup throughout the entire thing. You could see it depletes their economy when they use it, when they have to rebuy it, but they're not losing very many of these rounds. And right now, this is the only opportunity. If Winterfox can win this round and reset, or at least get the double ops out of their hands, they'll have a shot at getting 4 rounds in the half.
And Pitt looks for the opening shot back over here through Ivy, too. Dralsel still in the way of this one and is going to be able to smoke things up. Pitt almost finds the timing, but it's going to be a little bit too late onto this one, so it'll miss the connection. Winterfox beyond this, of course, not looking very well at all. 2 Galils in the mix, 2 AKs, and for those that have picked things up here, it's going to be very, very limited utility here. They've got enough smokes to work with, so it's not missing too much, but if the round goes on for an elongated period of time, which, depending on the Winterfox strategy, in some cases, it definitely has, that's going to be very bad for them, as they're going to be relying on entries, which so far, Team Coast, at least with an open playing field, have been able to respond to beautifully and almost win it out every single time. Now Winterfox, they move a lot of their players over here to the back halls, potentially to make that take onto the B site. It always comes into inside. We don't know if they're pushing it yet, but this is definitely going to be one of those cases where they do finally commit to it. They move in, the smoke comes out to FGB, and Flowsick just jumping over the fire there by using the ladder. They've actually completely surrounded FGB, but they don't even know he's there. Now he pushes in, he gets a kill from within the smoke. Pitt's quick on the response, though. That's going to take down FGB, and now they're down to just 3 players left alive from this Team Coast side of things, and they're pretty safe at this point, to be honest here. Invert still moves in with the op. He picks up a kill on Alex. We see Lems moving in, but Flowsick is there to counter this, and they'll be able to shut that down as well. So Winterfox finally coming through with 2 rounds here, just happening very late, unfortunately. So regardless, Team Coast are going to have a big lead, and we'll see, of course, on this final round if they can come out on top. But it actually looks like Team Coast finally getting a little bit low on the money, so they may be missing some stuff here as they've finally broken through that economy.
Yeah, now we'll get to see Scrunk with an M4. We're going to see what he can do with just a regular rifle, because he's had an AWP basically this whole half going on a tear. He's 20 and 5 right now, just putting on a clinic. FGB is going to be on a 5-7. That's going to weaken the inner defense, and that's kind of why you start seeing Invert. Actually, he's going to push upper with the AWP once again, but he's there quickly. He stands in the fire to take 1 shot, but he's got to move away. Doesn't land it, so we're going to go into this for 5-on-5, but Scrunk is pushed up underneath ladder. This could be dangerous.
Flowsick waiting to see if there'll be any extra aggression coming out from Team Coast, as there often has been, but Strunk, of course, as you already mentioned, is going to be the big player sitting down below this ladder. The flash comes in, he's completely blind, so that's an easy frag for Flowsick to grab. Now they've got control. Doesn't even know there's two players working this as well, with them being flashed at this point, so not a lot of intel is going to scrape out from that sort of play, and Invert again, very aggressive, pushes himself on top of the train, waiting for the push to come in from T-Con. He too gets flashed, so Winterfox actually getting very lucky with these flashes connecting. And now they're going to try to get some avenue to work their way out. Flowsick dodging the outshot there from Invert, but now the spray coming out his wall from the player on the train. That's going to be Lems. Pit finds the opening shot, but Lems picking up a trade. And now Lex pushing up with the op, almost connects another kill over there onto Lems as he dropped it to 21 HP. But at the same time, Pit opening up this flank opportunity now behind these players, looking for the finish off. He's going to shut down Lems in the final two. They're trying to maintain, but FGB's only got a pistol to work with. Picks up the M4, but he's going to get surrounded. Flowsick finds that kill on an Invert, and now FGB just stuck on the train. He finds one kill, but he's surrounded. So Pit picks up the final one, and Winterfox do end up coming back here at the end of the half, bringing things up to 4-11 before we switch sides.
Yeah, so a good end of that half from Winterfox. Crucial for them to get those last 3 rounds to be even able to get 4. So they've given themselves a small window here into the second half where they can make a few mistakes, but they have to start out hot. They have to get that economy going, much like Team Coast did, to be able to rebuy throughout this half. And that's the dangerous side. So Coast, going into this Terrace pistol round, they could basically lock this match up if they win this here.
And indeed, we'll see how that goes. They go for a very aggressive buy up. They actually do get the raid boss buy on FGB here too, so he's going to get armor and he's going to get tossed over. He's going to end up getting tossed over a Tech 9 to work with there as well. Same store on Invert. So this is something we saw yesterday. I'm trying to remember the exact match we saw it in, but another team did this where they actually bought 2 players on Tech 9s. And now with this, they're just going to try a direct push into one of these sites, and hopefully it works out with these 2 players on the Tech 9s being able to perform very, very well. FGB will lead the charge for Team Coast, but Pit right up in their faces, sitting behind that computer there, may be able to respond to this. And here they go. They're going to walk in. They haven't spotted Pit, so Pit knows it's happening. They connect some shots, but they don't realize he works out. And oh no, Flowsick. That's not good.
That might have been the worst possible outcome. Either way, XP3, big job to do, but he gets dropped by FGB. Strunk's going to be left here. And actually, there's some nice kills from Lex and Anger. They combine to bring it into a 2-on-2, and another TK on a Coast this time have brought it into that 2-on-2, so this is really dangerous. Anger finally falls, and Lex is going to get aggressive. I'm not sure Team Coast is prepared for this kind of movement out of him, and they're not. Lex gets the first, he spins around, does some decent damage, Skrunk down to 17 HP, but Lex with a huge advantage in this round, but Skrunk, a quick peek and a one-tap into Lex's head is going to end things.
And there's Team Coast. They start things off strong and should be able to continue it as well here. Winterfox, we'll see what kind of buy they're going to be able to mount in this round, but again, probably not going to be expecting too much. They kind of have to save to try and force things up, as take a big risk. And actually, no, they're going to go for the buy here this time, at least in Lex's case. He goes for the Mag 7 buy-up, and the other players are following suit too. Pit with the Deagle armor, Anger with the 5-7 armor. XP3 taking it a little bit more slowly, of course, as is Flowsick, but they're going to try to invest very early on, hope that it could pay off, as Lex might actually get some of the heat here right from the get-go. And this is a great lineup if Drawsel doesn't see it, but no, he takes the long duel, not going to be able to connect anything, and now he's going to fall back, and they know that shotgun's there now, so I doubt they're going to directly challenge him.
All of Winterfox is spread out. Drossel catches Lex off guard, trying to re-push that, so he falls early. Still spread out as the defense, but the offense, Coast knows how much aggression they just saw initially. Skrunk spots that push, that nade stack, and so they play far back, waiting for that kind of re-aggression that Lex just did, and they punished it. So now these 4 remaining members of Winterfox, they have a decision to make of where they want to try and group up to come back into this round. And it's not going to happen anytime soon. Skrunk with a nice headshot on the explosive.
Anger gets a nice stolen kill there on the draw, so after being completely flashed, at the very least they'll find that, and that's another little bit of damage that goes off, but still, the rest of Coach is waltzing onto this site. It's having a grand old time on the inside yard by himself. And that's basically going to be his goal at this point, is to survive with that Deagle and armor.
Yeah, not much to do. He does hear the footsteps, but no one from Ghost is actually giving him an opportunity to get any kind of a kill whatsoever, so FGB is just going to fall away with this P90. And Pitt's going to save this Deagle into the next round, trying to see if anyone's going to push towards CT spawn just to find, you know, maybe a kill that he can just grab. Coast makes a mistake, and actually FGB is searching for him, so he might be able to find one. He's wheeling around this inner bomb site, heading over towards CT spawn. This might be where Pitt is able to find that kill. He spots him out, but he can't connect with anything. FGB takes him out. So 13-4 now for Team Coast.
And again, been a very, very unfortunate series of events there for Winterfox, just not allowing them to pick up anything. Lex with the shotgun goes for the early challenge. The timing on it's not where it needs to be, so he misses his opportunity. And then kind of gets a second one too, but completely whips the shot. So Team Coast are able to take him down, and that was their biggest investment. The rest of the players as well, they're just not really able to hold off the push from Team Coast after that, as they just set up a default take into A, which goes swimmingly. They get into that site, get the bomb plant, and from that point forward, obviously, with just pistols, not a whole lot they can do to resist. But this nade stack coming in can do a little bit of damage to Coast as Winterfox will try to resist. Flowstick already taking a bit of damage, I believe, from a Molly, but they're all right there, and there's going to be FGB. He picks up one. They're also rolling in. He does get shut down by Anger, as Anger actually picks up two before being traded out by Lems. XP3 finding a third, and there's FGB just waiting for the drop down, too, from the players rotating from the inside yard. XP3 is now the last one alive. He catches FGB with the nade out, but he's able to trade weapons and finish him off anyway. So now Team Coast sits at 14 points as we head into the first gun round. And overall, just 2 more rounds away from finishing things off for Winterfox. They've got a whole lot of work to do just to get themselves tied up, not even to win this game.
The Molotovs from Team Coast are really, really nice. They confined all the members of Winterfox right around that bomb train. There was nowhere really for them to go. They couldn't egress through the smokes or the fire on top of the bomb train, so they were just isolated and stuck, not able to do anything. So Coast kind of gets an easy win. They did get brought down to 2 members, which is good economic damage. And they have a native BP on Pit into this round. He's brought it over towards mid, but no one's going to be there. Lex is about to have a lot of attention his way. 4 members of Team Coast coming this way, and no one readily rotating back from Winterfox. So Lex might be alone with this hit comes in, and now we're going to see XP3 starting to cheat back, but he's only got an M4 as well. No kits on the Winterfox side if this bomb gets planted.
We've talked about Lex in the past, though, so if he does get challenged, then he's the man to try and perform on his lonesome there. We saw that Mirage game the other day, did it time and time again, but he's going to get a little bit more support, though, rolling in. Nonetheless, there's going to be FGB picking up the first kill, so this is going to bring a lot of the attention back to the outside yard here, at least in the case of Flowstick. Now they spot it coming down from the ramp. No response from Lex as of yet. Waits patiently for that headshot in the draw zone. He's going to find it. Trying to play it on the bomb planter. He's not going to get it, but now he pops out. He's going to find Invert after he picks up one of his teammates. Flowstick pushing back in for the left, but Strunk is going to be able to trade that back out after he finds a kill. Leads into a 2-on-2. Lex still alive. Well, Pit just waltzes in from Z and finds a shot onto Strunk, and now they're going to move in. They're going to try to defuse this. FGB, they haven't spotted him yet. He's going to try to move out, but they hear him. And there we go. He pushes in. Lex is able to handle that. They've got a kit, so they should be able to... Actually, no, they don't have a kit, but still, I believe they got enough time to defuse it anyway. And that's going to be a 5th round being picked up by Winterfox here as they keep themselves in this for the time being.
That's a very interesting plant spot that It's a shame that it wasn't planted a little bit better, because FGB actually had a Molotov that he could have used. If that was a default plan, he could have played that much different at the upper ramp and thrown the Molotov on it off the door. You know, even if it's anywhere else, basically, that's kind of the only spot in the bomb site that he couldn't have bounced a Molotov, so that doesn't work out in his favor. But Winterfox do pick up that round. Lex with some more nice play that we've seen out of him the past 2 nights. Haven't seen it too much in this match, but that time with the solo hold gets some very, very nice kills.
And now Team Coast very quickly going to be broken here. Back down to the Tech 9 buy-up here. Only 1 AK sitting on FGB, and Pit now armed with the op. Already doing some work. Picks up a shot on the Strunk to shut him down. Missing that one as he unpeaks a little bit too early there, so it's going to end up hitting off of the train. But now he pushes back up, looking for some more aggression, and it's Anger's turn to party. He picks up a frag, but unfortunately FGB is there to shut things down. Sprays him out quickly, and of course Pit misses his shot, but they already know where this final player is. They should be able to easily surround him. He does pull through with a kill on a Pit at the very least, but now he's kind of trapped, and as he works his way in, can't get any more. Flowstick's going to come up from behind him and take him out, and Winterfox went out a 2nd round.
Yeah, that op doing more work in Pit's hands, and this is... These ops are just very hard for these teams to neutralize on the CT side so far. Pit going to town that round. It's going to be a save out of Team Coast. They've been broken, so they're going to upgrade into some pistols. Skrunk buys up some flashes and a smoke, but no armor invested whatsoever, so the nades of Winterfox should be able to do a lot of damage. Also the rifles from that long range, obviously, and it is looking like it's going to be a committal once again towards the center bomb site. All 5 members heading just that way, and Anger's pushed up underneath the ladder. Hasn't heard anything, but Lex is going to have a job to do pretty soon. Has this partially smoked out, but they could just swarm him if they can get down this ramp fast enough through the smoke.
GB's going to move out. He spots it. No toss on the molly yet. There's, for some reason, they haven't caught it to him or just aren't firing, but now they get the shots coming over towards him, and he's going to toss that molly down, waiting for the push from uppers. Good damage on FGB, but FGB just clotheslines him. Thankfully, XP3 is coming into here, so they still have a little bit of resistance, and trying to shut it down. XP3 is taking a sweet old time with those shots. Takes out Lems. They're moving in for an additional one, and he's just picking them off one by one at this point. Flowstick picks up the final one off of the assistance from a grenade, and there you have it, Winterfox. It was a good push from Coast, but Winterfox there quickly with the rotation to shut it down.
FGB got a little excited, I think, after he destroys Lex coming into that bomb site. He just keeps pushing forward, and I think he forgot that he had the bomb, so he tried to turn around and go get it planted, but it was just too late. He was out in the open, gets sprayed down. Either way, Coast isn't going to have any issue buying up. They have 5 AK-47s. They have full nades on every single player as well as full armor. So that plant not hugely important to them, but no AWP once again to counter Pit. They're going to have to figure out a way to do that. Looks like they're lining up for some smokes out towards T-spawn, ready to execute out of the A bomb site. Perhaps set up that wall smoke, get the plant down inside of it, and play for the post plant.
Team Coast once again. Here they go. ready to roll their way in here. Drelso will lead the charge coming in there from ladder room. Lex trying to get in the way, of course, from inside, but he's going to have to rotate out as he's obviously not going to be very useful here, but they're already pushing in a great smoke wall, but they do leave Z overexposed, so Anger and XP3 will be able to pick up 2 kills off of the hinge of this one. They try to turn it back around as they're going to roll their way over here once again over towards the inside yard. Lex will be there still to challenge that, and he catches Invert just in time too, but nonetheless, Invert shuts it down. FGB, I should note, is still alive and well on the outside yard, and he just picked up 2 kills. So all of a sudden, this round gets turned completely 180 degrees, and it's just Anger and Pit that have try to clutch it out. Anger's going to pop, he finds a headshot on the Invert. Now they're going to try to push their way back in, but with them playing this so slowly, Coast is going to have plenty of time as well to try to rotate into a flank spot, and that's exactly what FGB is doing at this point. He should be able to move in, he can find an easy frag on Anger, and then Pit's just going to be the final one, and he's still down to 49 HP at this point. Creeping in, he should have that first kill on Anger. There you go, he picks that one up. And even Pit, Molly comes out there, he tries to get a response kill on FGB, but he can't find that one, so Coast do end up closing that one out after all, and now they're on match point, and for Winterfox, money's still good on most of their players for another buyout, but still, now Team Coast are at set point, and Winterfox are still 8 rounds behind.
4 kills from FGB in that round. He's been an absolute monster this entire match. Into that 2-on-2 is pretty much impossible for Winterfox to win, to be completely honest with you, because 2 Molotovs left on the Team Coast side, and the 2 remaining members of them, they could have just stalled out that bomb defuse for some time. Skrunk played it very well, just passively at upper ramp, drops his Molotov, and then FGB gets that kill, and it's all over from there. More aggression, though, on the defense. Anger, he's getting aggressive, as he's been doing basically this whole half towards ladder room, but it's going to be Lex who pushes up that lower ramp, and he gets killed. XP3 responds, but he's traded off by Drossel. Now the rotate is fully on into this inner site, and actually Team Coast is committing to this. It's just the bomb that goes in solo, so he's got to be a little bit careful trying to get this plant, because he doesn't have a lot of support, but the support he does have is beautiful. Invert drops Pit from a long range until 2 kills quickly go the way of Winterfox.
Invert with a nice shot on a flow stick takes him down, and that should pretty much shut things down at this point. Anger's going to be the last player alive, but even he gets shot out there by Invert too. What a round by Invert to close things out, so that's going to finish it off, guys. Good attempt for Winterfox to try and make a comeback there on the second half, but it just doesn't pull through. They end it 16-7 in the favor of Team Coast, and what a performance specifically, of course, on the T side by some of those players, or apologies, the CT side by those players. A little bit rougher on that T side, of course, but with it being trained, that's to be somewhat expected.
Skrunk and FGB had a magnificent match there. So that was just dominant from start to finish from Team Coast, and a lot of it had to do with just those ops. Just went on a tear. Winterfox had no answer to the AWPs, didn't really know, couldn't really smoke them off, couldn't isolate them. Never had the money on that first half to out-op them whatsoever. Only Pit he gets it at the end of the half, and they win 3 straight to give himself a chance, but the ops just became too powerful on Team Coast. So Winterfox, we talked about, they've had some good results recently, some good performances, some good showing, and this time they come out flat. So more improvements to be made, obviously, in that camp. But after all this roster upheaval, it's good to see Coast able to have that kind of a success.
Yeah, another good thing we saw from them, too, was specifically on their T side. They did a really good job of actually holding off a lot of the aggression coming in there. We saw Winterfox try to get cute there a couple times, specifically Lex with that shotgun, but it's things like that never really ended up panning out in the second half and only ended up costing them rounds. So a good managing of that and an overall good second half there, too, at the end of it does manage to allow them to pull through, and they're going to pick up that match there and cause another loss onto the roster of Winterfox, which is putting them further and further away from getting that land spot, which they so desperately want to get here with that all-star roster that they spent so much time putting together. So, I believe that's it, correct? Anything else to add, Moses?
No, I thought it was a pretty good night of matches. I was impressed by Liquid, just the way they dominated Cloud9, although that's not too surprising. Cloud9 hasn't really looked in that great of form for some time now, so just kind of that's kind of scary for C9 moving forward into Cluj next week, but they've got a little bit of time left to try and fix some issues. And just hopefully they're going to show up in good form come that major. Liquid's looking good, but all the North American teams have really, really tough groups at the upcoming major, so hopefully they show up to play.
All right, guys. Well, that is going to close it out for this evening. So thank you all very much for tuning in. Before you go, we do want to give a nice shout out to one of our sponsors. Be sure to go ahead and check out the theScore eSports app, available over on the App Store as well as Google Play. Got a nice deal on there. If you haven't been with us the whole night or you've missed any of the action, they've got a nice way to wrap things up. You can check out the stats on the players and the teams right over there, along with keeping up on all the greatest news from Counter-Strike, along with Dota 2 and plenty of other esports games as well. So with that said, guys, thank you very much once again for tuning in, and we'll see you tomorrow for more ESL ESEA Pro League action.